In this video, I'm going to show you how to place your two first discussion boards in Canvas. Some of you are very familiar. Some of you may not be so familiar. So here's how it's done. If I click on my left panel link to discussions, it takes me to discussions. And you'll see that I have pin discussions, simple discussions, and close for comments. The easiest way to add one is hit the plus discussion button. And I get a topic title and everything else. Notice that our design tools appears here. So if you're not seeing it, remember it's Alt-Shift-D or the Command-Shift-D if you're on an Apple. So once I have my design tools open, I would place in my title, Introduction to Discussion Board. And right here, I would simply write, please introduce yourself to the class. So tell us a bit about your interest in the class topic or whatever, but give your students a chance to introduce themselves to the class. When I go down, I make sure that all sections of my course have it. I allow threaded replies. I like to enable the podcast feed and include student replies. This is not a graded assignment. It's very informal, but it tells us that students know how to use the discussion board, so that's a helpful outcome of this. We also give students that first chance to start having some interactions with their other students. We can allow liking, and we do want to add this to the student to-do list. Since it's not graded, we want to add it to the student to-do list. So let's say we add it, and we give them a first couple of days to log in and complete it. It tells us early on if students are engaging in the course, if they're logging in, if they're following along and doing what they're supposed to do. So it becomes a very helpful and important tool, and then we just save and publish. It doesn't have to be that complicated, but it's a helpful little tool to get everyone kicked off. I like to pull it up from discussions to pinned discussions. In pinned discussions, when you pin a discussion in a particular order, they appear in that order. So if you like to arrange your discussions in a particular way, and it's not by date, or the most recent one that needs to be done, I like to put them in pinned discussions. My next discussion I'll add does the same thing, and this is called virtual office hours. Go. So please use this discussion board to ask questions that can be asked in front of the whole class. I respond to questions within 24 hours of posting on weekdays and 48 hours of posting on weekends. So whatever my parameters are. But we really strongly suggest in the 24-hour turnaround, you can give yourself some time for the weekend. And the same applies. I allow threaded replies, the podcast feeds. It's not graded. I allow liking. and add it to the student to-do list, but they don't have to do it by a certain time, so you can take that off. And save and publish. And I go back to discussions, and I can add this straight to our pin discussion board. Now, if I go to modules, I can also add them here. So if I wanted to add them up in module 1, whatever, we can do that. But two places you'll definitely want to add some elements of this. So if I go home and I go to my start page, right? Notice how we talk about an introduction discussion board right here, linked here. Make sure, and we've added the start here page to the student to-do list. We give students a link to it here by highlighting it and then going to links, discussions, introduction discussion board, and then save. So that's now linked. I can also go to syllabus, and in the section where it has office hours, dates and times by appointment, I would also include the virtual office hours discussion board linked here, and I highlight again, and I go to links, discussions, virtual office hours. So it's linked in your syllabus as well. If I click on it, it takes me right there. So, two very important parts of introducing students to your course and getting them engaged right away. If you have future suggestions for topics, please let us know. Email us at doel@husson.edu, and please click the subscribe button for future updates from the channel.